He signed his name on a line of fire, chose a life of steel and wire. Never let her feeling grow. He learned to breathe in yes and no, until she came with a sunset voice. He was ruined without a choice. War had trained his pulse to hide, but one girl cracked him open wide. He rode to her beside a truck, hands still shaking from close range luck. Said, I don't know what this is yet, but it's louder than the loud we get. She answered slow, afraid to burn, but he read, please come back between each word. So in the mud and metal dim, he guarded her name like sacred skin. He carried her like contraband, soft forbidden in a hardened man. He loved her in a war zone, with nothing but a torn down phone. Her voice was the one still place that made his blood forget its pace. Between alarms and marching boots, he grew a garden without roots. He loved her in a war zone, where nothing gentle should be grown. They taught him not to hesitate, to trust the scar, ignore the fate. But she rewired his every nerve, made him a soldier who longs to serve. More than a country or a creed, but one girl's lamp in his deepest need. A bullet once kissed close his ear. He whispered her name instead of fear. At night when the compounds fall to hush, he feels his ribcage start to rush. He holds her letters to his chest, like borrowed lungs inside his vest. Brothers sleep and mortars wake, but he is on a different faith, studying her commas and tears, like scripture against the gears. He didn't know that love can aim straighter than any metal flame. He loved her in a war zone, with nothing but a torn down phone. Her voice was the one still place that made his blood forget its pace. Between alarms and marching boots, he grew a garden without roots. He loved her in a war zone, where nothing gentle should be grown. If he returns with both lungs lit, he'll kneel, no medals, only grit. Say, I survived for this, not fame, for one girl who dared say my name. And if he falls beneath the dust, he prays she reads him as he was, a man who died with something soft tied to his chest like highest cost. He loved her in a war zone, where even hope is cut to bone. He held her like a smuggled light against the teeth of armored night. If love can bloom where sirens scream, then hers is proof beneath the sea.